particular video, I will be talking to you guys about leverage. Again, leverage. And most of you wonder why I'm always going back to leverage. Well, that's because leverage is like one of the most important things you want to consider when trading. Again, if you don't understand leverage, I personally won't advise you should be trading. You should pack your bags and leave. Don't even place a trade if you don't understand leverage. Now, I know a lot of brokers offer you a 1 to 1000 leverage, or let's start with a 1 to 100. Let's try to understand what that means. Don't forget, leverage is borrowed money, right? So it's like they borrow you money. Let's read some quote by Warren Buffett. Okay. All right. So let's just see some quote by one of the greatest investors of all time and what he has to say about leverage. So back here, you can see this is a 1 to 1000 leverage. And what this simply entails is your broker is willing to loan you, let's do the math this way. Let's say you deposit $1,000, right? Now your broker is willing to loan you $100,000 for you to be able to increase your position on your $1,000. Meaning you can open a position of $101,000 because you deposited a $1,000 amount. Now this sounds interesting because it means you can make $100,000, but it also means you can lose your $1,000 in less than 5 seconds. So you have to get that, and you have to understand that this is very important for you as a trader to understand what leverage does. Now, if you go online, you probably see all brokers offering you a 1 to 500, 1 to 1000. But let's see what some of the greatest investors have to say about leverage. So you see, you don't really need leverage in this world. If you're smart, you're going to make a lot of money without borrowing. I've never borrowed a significant amount of money in my life. Never will I. I've got no interest in it. Now you have to think, okay, this is one of the greatest investors of all time. I mean, we all know Warren Buffett. Now, personally for me, when taking financial advice, I don't take financial advice from anybody that is younger than 60. So I won't even tell you to take financial advice from me because I'm not up to 60. I'm just in my early 30s, which is strange. But yeah, you want to take financial advice from people that are already old enough to know what the world is all about. Not people that just came here and have a few million in their account and they feel, well, I know how the world works. Now you could be very, very rich in your 40s or in your 30s. By the time you're in your 50s, if you get to your 50s and 60s, and now you're broke. That doesn't make sense to me. So again, don't take financial advice from people who don't know any better. So you want to go to people who have been in the money business for a long time and they are still there. And one of such people is Warren Buffett, George Soros, Charlie Munger. I mean, there are a lot of great traders you can take advice from, and not YouTube traders. Trust me. Well, I'm a YouTube trader myself, but again, I personally don't take advice from YouTube traders. So back to leverage, right? So you've seen what leverage can do. You've seen how it can affect your trading and all that, right? So you could just go and see some quote from the Wizard of Omaha himself. You can see if you're smart, you don't need leverage. If you're not smart, you shouldn't be using it. So again, you should keep that in mind the next time somebody tells you, let me mentor you. First thing you want to ask a mentor is, what leverage do you use? Now, if your mentor is using a leverage of beyond 1 to 10, I would definitely advise you to run. Not because he's not going to make money. You'll be able to make money over the short term, but you're not in this business to make money over the short term. You're here to make money long term. And what I usually would advise my students is to keep their leverage at a maximum of 1 to 5, especially if you're just starting out and you really don't know what exactly is happening yet. You don't want to be donating your money to any broker. Don't forget, the brokers are just here to take your money, and that's why they go to any extent to get you to deposit, because they know for a fact that you're going to lose all that money to them sooner or later. It doesn't matter how good you are, as long as you don't understand leverage. Even if you have a 70% win rate, which is very, very impossible. You can't really have a 70% win rate in this market. The best you can do is have a 50%, right? But again, if you really want to understand what is going on, you need to pay attention to people like Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, about investing, not just any YouTuber who claims to have made 100,000, 200,000. That's okay. Everybody can make certain amount of money, but you're not here to get rich quick. You're here to build sustainable wealth, which is something that takes deliberate actions and, of course, deliberate focus. So you want to be able to take good advice, know the difference between good advice and bad advice. So you can lose leverage, and it's the only way a smart guy can go broke. Now I know you're smart because you're here and you're still watching. So if you're smart and you're here, it means you have to make the smart choice and the smart decision. Okay? So the only way smart people go broke is through leverage. And it is true. Very true. Okay? So you want to understand leverage and you want to leverage it in your trading. So you understand leverage to leverage it. But as I would always tell you, for now, if you're just getting started in trading, even if you've been trading for 10 years or 20 years and you're still not profitable, one advice I will give you is to take a step back, look on your leverage and change it to 1 to 5 maximum. Secondly, keep in mind that most brokers don't even put leverage into effect. I know they probably have a 1 to 5 leverage on their platform, but it doesn't really work. I've seen brokers that I've tried to use a 1 to 5 leverage and I could still open a position of a 1 to 100 leverage, meaning that leverage on that platform was just for show. Also, you just want to know, okay, can I trust this broker? Not all brokers are regulated anyway, so you need to understand what broker you're dealing with, if they are trustworthy. And if you're still confused, you can leave a comment for me and I'll recommend some brokers for you that I personally use, and you can test it for yourself. Now, again, leverage is very important. Very important to your trading, very important to your financial career. Again, don't forget, the only way smart people can go broke is through leverage. That is very profound. Very, very profound. So keep that in mind the next time somebody tells you to use a 1 to 1,000 leverage because they want to send you some signals. Okay? Again, don't rely on information you find online. Try and do some research for yourself. But this is all I have to say about leverage for now. I want you to test it out yourself. You should open like 3 accounts. Have one with 1 to 5. Okay? So you should have at least 3 accounts. Try a 1 to 5 leverage, right? Just do that and see what happens. Try a 1 to 5 leverage, a 1 to 100 leverage, right? And a 1 to 500 leverage. So just put this to the test. Go to your broker, open a demo account, and if you have enough capital, open a live account. If you can put in $50 on each and try these leverages, and then I can assure you that in less than a month you would have blown these 2 accounts. They'll be gone. They will be gone, and you probably will still have this because your leverage is in place. Okay, so that will be all for this video. It is all about leverage, and for you to understand that leverage is a double-edged sword, and of course it is very, very important to anybody, any trader, any investor, any smart person looking to make money consistently over a long period of time in this market. If you're here for the short run, if you're here to just make some profit and jump out, I mean, you could use leverage the way you want, but if your goal is to make money long term and be profitable long term, then you want to make sure you're using leverage very smartly. Okay, so you can see more codes. There are only 3 ways a smart person can go broke: liquor, ladies, and leverage. This is really good advice. Some quotes are very profound if you actually just take out the time to listen, okay, to pay attention to whatever you're reading. And personally, I prefer to read quotes from people like this, okay. Same thing was said by Charlie Munger, okay. So you can see Berkshire past record has been almost ridiculous. If Berkshire use even half the leverage of, say, I don't know who this guy is, Murdoch, it will be 5 times its current size. So yeah, you can use, if they use more leverage, they will be probably 5 times their current size. But again, you remember, they are very smart investors. They are not here to make all the money. They are here to make money, yes, but they also want to make sure their capital is protected, their investors are satisfied. You don't want to go to bed thinking, oh, I'm going to wake up broke. I'm going to wake up on in debt. So you don't want to go to bed rich and wake up in debt. Again, leverage is very important, guys. And I'll come to an end for this video. If this is something that sounds very interesting to you, you should check it out. And you should also check out my channel for other videos, which I usually will upload every now and then. I won't be teaching you guys how to trade or giving you guys signals. This is just my personal take on the market, what I see happening, and what I think is important for traders to look into. So with that said, this will be the end of this video, and I have some analysis on the AED USD. Okay, I think this week coming in we have the CPI, and of course I also covered importance of fundamentals over the week, so you also would want to check that out. So with that said, I think I should just come to a close for this particular video, and I'll be seeing you guys in my next video. I still will be making more videos on leverage, on margin, and some concept that most traders don't really talk about or don't even have any idea they exist. Okay, so with that said,